Hey guys, it's Cisco again, and this is the Sideshow Sandrooper premium format exclusive. And I seem to be one of the first people to get this guy in, so Sideshow has shipped some of these straight to international customers from the factory, whereas the rest of them have to go all the way to Sideshow in the US to then be distributed from there. So I know a lot of you guys are still waiting, so I wanted to try and get this review filmed and up for you as quick as I could so you can get a better look at him. And just before I jump off into the main review, I'll just give you a little bit of a disclaimer. Even though I'm a hardcore Star Wars original trilogy fan, and I've seen each of the films countless times, I'm just not the kind of person who can sit here and pick out what inaccuracies may or may not be on this piece. There's some amazing guys that do that on the forums. They'll have stills from the movie and then shots of this piece, and they can tell you everything that's not screen accurate on the piece. But my brain just doesn't work that way, so unfortunately I can't do that for you. So I'll just be reviewing the piece based on what I like about it and what I don't like about it and things like that, and just giving you my opinion. So as you can see here, you've got the full shot of the piece. And a lot of people have commented from the photos about the pose, and a lot of people feeling it looks a bit stiff, and I do agree with that actually. And so I believe the pose for this piece had to be changed midway through. So I think the original concept, according to David Ego on Statue Forum, was they were originally going to have a horn coming out of the bantha skull on the base, and that one of his legs was going to be up on the horn, sort of resting on it, and so his foot up on the horn and then sort of looking off into the distance, and that sounds like a fairly relaxed pose. And then for whatever reason that needed to be changed somewhere along the way. I suspect they were trying to maybe reduce the footprint of the base a bit, and so it's changed to just him standing upright, and it does kind of look like his upper body is in a much more relaxed pose than his lower body. So his head turned to the side and he's holding the gun in a fairly relaxed way, but then his legs are standing very straight and do look a bit stiff compared to his upper body. And then a lot of people have also commented on his legs being too skinny, and yes, in person they do look a bit on the skinny side, I have to say. So that's two things that aren't ideal. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, when you stand back and you take the whole piece in, it does look okay. It just comes off a little bit more stiff than I think it could have if his lower legs were positioned in a slightly different way. So I'll just give you guys a 360 here, so you can just get a shot of him from the side and the back of the base and all that kind of stuff. So the little ex-Womp Rat here. And then just coming back to the front. And so in terms of the sort of display angles on this piece, so you can sort of have him, so his body's kind of facing the front, in which case his head is turned to the side, and his head is fixed. So the Vader and the Boba Fett, which were two recently released premium formats, the head could be, was on like a ball joint and could be positioned. So this head is fixed, and it is a lot heavier and feels sturdier than I have the Boba Fett, which felt extremely light. It was like a ping pong ball. So this one feels, really weighty and sturdy compared to that, but yeah, it's not poseable. So yeah, you can have him with his body straight on and head turned to the side, and then you've got this kind of in the middle pose with his body on an angle and his head kind of looking off at an angle as well. And that's probably my preferred display angle for it, but you can also have it so that his head is kind of looking at you more straight on and his body is turned to the side. So those are the three main display angles. If you go any further, then yeah, you can't see things at an optimal angle. So if you got him like that, so the Womp Rat is visible. but he's kind of behind him a bit. I sort of maybe wish they'd positioned him a little bit more to the left so you could see him a bit more, but yeah, you can still see him. Okay, so now I will take the camera off the tripod and get you guys some close-ups with all the details. Okay guys, here we go with some close-ups. And just a general comment on the finish of the armour before I get into the nitty-gritty details. Someone on Facebook made a good comment that it was like they'd managed to do the dirt and the weathering, but then still maintain the shininess of the armour. And yeah, they have, and you can kind of see it there. It's like reflecting the light. So the armour's still nice and glossy. It's like they've done the sort of the dirt and the weathering and then put a gloss on top. But yeah, I actually really like that finish. I think it looks really nice. So I'll just try and get in a bit closer on the details of the helmet, so you can see all the sort of the mottled dirt look there, and yeah, it's got these you know, kind of darker parts running around where, you know, kind of where sand would and dirt would get stuck, you know, if this was real armour. So the eye lenses are nice and glossy, and they do actually have a green tinge, which they are actually supposed to. I do know that that's meant to be, in terms of film accuracy, they are actually meant to be slightly greenish instead of just straight black. So that's good that they've done that. So you can see in here, there's some white paint sort of on the where it should be black. So the paint job on this piece is pretty good, but yeah, there's definitely, you know, there's some in there as well. Some parts where it's not as clean as it could be. I'll just get around to the back. Overall, definitely not too bad though. So this piece is just so it's a sculpted piece, and it's just a magnet, like with a block, just pegged straight into the shoulder, so that's pretty cool. And then this piece here is it actually felt like leather. I'm assuming it's pleather, but yeah, it has a real leather-like feel to it. So it's just kind of got a loop that goes on, and then you put the head on top, and that strap kind of goes feeds in that way and goes under the arm there. So that looks really nice. I'm impressed with that actually. Coming down to the chest, I was looking at the prototype pictures, and the weathering, you know, with the dirt on the chest definitely looked a lot more subtle. It looked, you know, less like he dropped chocolate down his chest. But you know, it does look like dirt. It looks fine. It's maybe a little bit overdone, but yeah, it's not too bad. It's not terrible. So just coming down. So this is the gun. Let's get you some shots of that. So the gun itself is quite nice, but it's got this like battle damage here, where it's like there and kind of here, and it honestly looks like they've gotten a silver texter, like a silver pen, and just like drawn a couple of lines of silver as like battle damage. Yeah, it's not amazing, I've got to say. And then so the gun here, there's the hand kind of in this, you know, it looks it's like at a weird kind of angle, you know, his hand sort of to go under the gun, but for the life of me, no matter what I do, I can't get that into his hand. It's just too wide and it's at the wrong angle, and so it just kind of hovers. And I checked the prototype pictures, and it looked like the gun was, you know, at least a little bit in his hand. So if anyone else gets this and they can tell me how to get that in his hand, because yeah, I can't, it won't go in. It's just because it gets caught on his thumb there, and then his fingers here, and yeah, it's just too wide. So I really wish his hand was actually holding that gun. because it looks a bit weird. Then there's this mixed media strap running through the gun there. They kind of weathered that up a bit. Yeah, it looks good. And then his legs. And the creases on the shoes and the weathering on the shoes looks quite nice. So I'll just spin him around to the back before I get to the base. So there's the back of his legs. And then there's the backpack here, which is a big peg with a magnet that goes into his back. That felt nice and sturdy. Magnet feels quite strong, and the pack itself looks nice. However, there's these straps. So there's one here, and there's one here, and then two on the other side. And they're like a clip, and they're meant to clip into each other. I'll try and get you a close-up of this. But it's this like really thin plastic. I mean really thin. And honestly, it felt like I was going to break it trying to clip it in. So eventually I tried a few times on both sides, and eventually I gave up because I do have to pack this up for storage, and really I felt like it was going to break. So I'm really not happy about that because I've ended up just leaving it. Yeah, I mean, again, like if you guys manage to clip those together, let me know. But geez, it just like this was really wide, and even though it's thin, it didn't have much give. And yeah, trying to clip it into these little clips, just yeah, oh, man. So it scared me, and I just gave up. So there's this little pack here. It came attached, and then there's a fabric strap, and that's got Velcro on the back, which is kind of under the pack now. And then there is another sort of one of these things that's meant to go on the, just sort of, it's got a clip to clip onto the belt, and it was too tight, so I would have had to undo the Velcro and clip it on and then do the Velcro back up, and so I couldn't be bothered. But yeah, there is another one of those. And then I'll just get to the base here. So the base itself has loads and loads of texture, and it's quite a nice color. Like it's this really matte sort of sandy, sandstony, you know, that really red kind of desert rock look. And yeah, I think they've done a really nice job on that. I think it looks really good overall, and I'm pleased with the sculpt and the paint job. And then of course there's this bantha skull here, and it's nicely weathered as well. Looks like it's been there a long time. Yeah, kind of broken. And then this is the spine that's sort of there and runs around here. And yeah, I just think, yeah, that looks really nice. I'm happy with how that came out. And then this is the part I'm sure you're all waiting for. This is the exclusive Womp Rat. And just a note for those who haven't got this piece yet, the peg on mine was actually at this really weird angle. It looked bent, and I thought, oh no, it's, you know, I'm gonna need a replacement. It's not gonna fit in. And actually it fit in perfectly, so I'm assuming it's supposed to be like that. So just giving you guys a warning so you're not freaking out if it looks like it's bent. So try and get you a better shot of him here. So they've got some gloss on his nose there, you can see. I thought that was a nice touch. Yeah, there's his little face. Oh, isn't he cute? Yeah, so I just, I do kind of wish, because at most angles from the front, that's how you see him. So he's kind of half behind the leg. Yeah, I just wish they'd maybe moved him kind of around here a little bit. But yeah, pleased with the base. It looks nice. I like the little Womp Rat. I know a lot of you aren't keen on him, but yeah, I think he's cute. And then just one final thing, and this is a QC issue more than a design issue, more than anything, but once again I've got a gap under this foot, and I've taken it out and put it back in multiple times. I've tried everything I can to make it sit flush, and it just won't. The inside of the peg hole right down the bottom looks uneven. I'm assuming that's what's not letting it go all the way in flush. But I'm just I'm so sick of that, because I can't tell you how many Sideshow pieces in the last year or so I've had that don't sit flush. My Wonder Woman premium format, my Keaton Batman premium format, my Hellboy premium format, my Obi-Wan Mythos didn't sit flush, and there's a few others, and it just drives me nuts. And none of those ended up actually getting resolved with me getting a replacement or anything. Most of the time I got offered like a measly $20 credit. So yeah, that's just something that just drives me nuts. So I'll take a photo and send it off to Sideshow and see what they offer me. Sorry guys, I ended the review, and then I've suddenly realised that I forgot to mention that all the black parts under his armour of his suit running throughout the whole piece, those are actually mixed media. So that's similar to the other troopers as well. And that does look nice. I do like the way that they do that. I think it goes well with the fully sculpted armour. Alright, so pretty much to sum up my thoughts, this is definitely, I think it's a decent PF. I think if you have any of the other troopers and you like them, then you'll probably like this one too. So I've got the Storm, the Snow, and the Scout Trooper, and I think this guy's gonna pretty much fit in nicely right next to those. There's definitely some problems that I'm not particularly happy about. I think the clips on the backpack are terrible. I don't know what they were thinking with those. They're just flimsy, and yeah, I'm just worried I'm going to break them. The hand holding the rifle is annoying. The battle damage on the rifle is pretty terrible. The legs, yeah, a bit stiff, a bit skinny. Little womp rat down there. Yeah, he's probably a baby womp rat, I'm guessing. A lot of people have commented on that. They're meant to be bigger. But yeah, and I'm sure there's inaccuracies on the helmet and the armor that I'm completely missing. But yeah, he's still decent. He's still fairly solid. So yeah, like I said, if you're happy with the other troopers, you'll probably be happy with this guy too. So at the time of filming this review, the exclusive is still available on Sideshow. So if you're not really bothered by anything that I've mentioned, then feel free to go and pick one up. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope maybe it helped you out a little bit if you were thinking of ordering. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and catch you on the next video. Cheers, guys.